Welcome back to another edition of Health Hack. I am Melissa Deely and continuing to talk to you about the power of your unconscious mind. And in my last session, I was talking to you about how much information our mind takes in every single day and the fact that it has to then delete, distort, and generalize that down to a manageable amount. And that creates the movie screen of your life, the memories that the conscious mind can then be drawing on, and the unconscious mind is filing every single experience that you ever have into your memory storage without judgment. And in this process, you are creating your own reality every single day. And that blew my mind when I realized this, when I learned this. So, what is happening is because your filters that I talked about last time are different to everybody else's filters, your experience then becomes different to everybody else's experience. Even if you're at a concert with 49,999 other people, your brain is processing your experience of that concert through a different set of filters than all of your friends and all of the people in the arena that you don't even know. And then what happens is you go away from that experience, you tell others about it, and you might tell someone a different story to what your friends are talking about, and yet you were at the same concert sitting side by side. So another way to explain this to you is to share just a little story of three little boys are walking in a park, and a dog comes bounding up towards them, and the first little boy runs away. And the second little boy drops to his knees and he puts his arm around the neck of the dog, and the dog's licking his face and the dog's tail's wagging and the boy's grinning and laughing. And then the third little boy is actually off telling the dog owner, excuse me, dogs have to be on a leash in this park. And so you can see is one experience, the dog comes bounding towards the three little boys. And there were three very different reactions because those three little boys, their filters were different, and that had them respond in a different way. The first little boy's filters had him feeling afraid of dogs, so he ran away. The second little boy's filters had him absolutely loving dogs, and so he threw his arms around and gave that dog a great big hug and enjoyed all the loving of that dog licking his face. And the third little boy, his filters tell him that rules should be obeyed at all times. So he was worried that the fact that the dog was off the leash in a park where it says all dogs must be leashed. So they all responded in a really different way to the one experience, the dog bounding up to them. So you can imagine at the dinner table of these three little boys in three different families that the stories they tell their parents are very different stories. And as such, as the parents hear these stories, they could believe that it was three completely different events if they ever got together and compared what their sons were up to that day, right? So it's really fascinating when you stop to think about this. And this is actually why in Canada, the RCMP no longer allow eyewitness testimonials in court, because you can have three different eyewitness testimonials of a motor vehicle accident. And this is relevant to motor vehicle accidents where they're not allowed. And you have three different witnesses telling three completely different stories in court. And so this is how it comes to be that you are creating your own reality every single day. And it's different to the reality of the people that you're hanging around with every time because your filters are all different. From here, though, if you don't like your reality, I want to let you know that we can change it for you. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next episode. So come back, join me, and learn how